Hey, what is up, all you beautiful souls out there? Welcome to the Level of Consciousness podcast, where I show you the different state of your powerful cosmic mind. And today's episode, the 5D consciousness. Now, I know what you're thinking, like 5D Earth, is that coming or something? Well, you see, it doesn't work like that. We live in a physical 3D world, but our mind has connection to the universe, which is called the fifth dimensional consciousness, or in other words, the spiritual path, the path of the universe. Now, before I explain to you all this, let me review to you a history as part of the unlearn and relearn process. Now, don't go off and ask where I got this information from, because you have it too. It's in your subconscious. That's why it's called dormant DNA. You just have to keep an open mind and let information like this resonate with you. Behold, ladies and gentlemen, the divine revelation. In the past golden age, known from the Sanskrit as Satava Yuga, or the Age of Peace, there were paradise-like conditions such as tropical weather across the globe. There were no wars, everyone was healthy and lived long lives. Even immortality was offered. All people were loved and respected. No animals were slaughtered for food or fashion. And there was a close connection to the divine absolute, the source, the creation of all things, the I Am Presence, who is known to have many characteristic and aspect referred to as Teva, which means shining ones, and Tevi, which means light being, from India, or Neteru, divine forces of nature, from the Egyptian era. So during the Golden Age, there was an entity like us called Rishi in India, or in some country we say Rusi, which means sage in English, or the great yogi. A being with divine knowledge in India who achieved enlightenment through intense meditation and gained truth and eternal knowledge from the universe. Again, the secret to the universe is achievable through an intense meditation. There are no shortcuts, and it cannot be taught by anyone. So you have to devote yourself through intense meditation in order to achieve this. Rishi therefore composed the truth and eternal knowledge that he learned written in hymn in Bali literature, which is then passed down and studied by Buddhism, especially those with Alahan or high-ranking monks. And the hymn or chanting has been rewritten many times. That's why in today's modern world, no one has ever achieved the enlightenment status. Now, Rishi received divine revelation that allowed him to calculate the turning of our planets on her axis to 7.83 cycles per second, a very slow pace compared to the turning of our now, which is 1200 cycles per second. Now, moving forward 100 years later into the Kali Yuga, or the Age of Chaos. Due to the misuse of human collective consciousness, whereby only quarter of humanity remain in higher mind frequency, the universe sees and then retaliate by turning the planet on her axis, which sped up and she began to send potent light that began and still is leveling up the planet to a higher place in the cosmos, where vibrations are faster and where lights appear often. Amazingly profound. The reason for a faster rotation speed of the planet is so that the light can soar in and through our planet, throughout the solar system, and into the creation of all kind of magnificent that clears out and cleanses old programming. In other words, waking up with the feeling of unconditional love for one another, peace. There's no ego, but human beings are so distracted of the technologies that we use today. So reducing the brain power from 25% to at least 5 or 1%.
Let's imagine for a few moments what our life would be like if we could access, let's say, 20% of our brain's capacity. This first stage would give us access to and control of our own body.
So you see, their agenda was never to assist us with their technology, but instead to distract us from achieving the 5D consciousness. Now, let's get back to the beginning, the 5D world or the 5D earth or whatever you want to call it. So our normal everyday 3D world isn't going anywhere, but humans will have access to the 5D world by using their mind, hence the pineal gland, which act as an antenna to receive interdimensional knowledge from the universe. In other words, the fifth dimensional frequency. Our awareness is a knowing that we are a spiritual being made of light and energy, constantly connected to the divine source. Now you're taking the 5D experiences and then shaping it in this 3D world for the greater goods of humanity. A good example of humans who have achieved the 5D consciousness is Nikola Tesla, who created free energy for all of us. Then all of a sudden he died and all his research were burned along with it. I mean, it's not hard to think what happened with Tesla. But this goes on both ways. You can even get in touch with the dark side of the universe. Authors like Stephen King is another good example. Writing about dark entity, like where do you think he gets the idea from? I mean, most of the directors and authors uses 5D consciousness method to write their story. Another good example is a friend of mine who loves painting. Now, people call her crazy all the time because she paints weird stuff. But as you can see here, she paints pictures that are not even in this world. It is because she's connected to the fifth dimensional world, and as you can see, all her painting has eyes, which means the universe is always watching you, is always watching your path, is always creating the path for you. So, what's next then? The fifth dimensional consciousness sounds cool and all, and how is that supposed to help us, right? You see, astrology is very important at this time, and humans tend to not care too much about it. But what a great time to be alive though, because we are moving into the age of Aquarius. As the sun moves into this new age, human consciousness awakens to a higher understanding where all people are treated equally regardless of race and gender. We're prioritized by individuality instead of following crowds, mainstream media, government rules, and awaken to all the lies that those have deceived you all year long. Because in astrology, Aquarius is a sign of knowledge, wisdom, and intelligence. It is governed by Uranus, the planet of independence, freedom, creativity, and finally, rebellion. So how the heck did we wake up into all this bullshit then? You see, in June 2019, Jupiter, the planet of luck, which rules higher learning in both intelligence and spirituality. Our ethical and moral values increase with Jupiter as it helps us grow and flourish in a positive way, thus paved the way for us to see the spiritual path. And during this time, many souls were called upon to raise the vibration of the earth, and you may have been one of them. We call this the Great Awakening. Have you ever thought about why you're working? Like, do you feel bored about your work? Or how about your family? Do you feel that there's a lot of arguments? Well, you're not alone. There's thousands of people who left their job, good position, high pay, just so they can become a farmer. And there are also tons of people who got divorces and came out to live alone. So until humans can understand that we do not need anyone to control our lives, we either work together or we don't work together. Until then, we'll face a lot of struggles. You see, the angels of the universe work in mysterious way with humanity to elevate our connection with the spiritual dimension so that we can create a planet where souls live in peace and can be self-governing. So, what now exactly? Well, you're exactly where you need to be. We all are exactly where we need to be. You have to have faith, you have to trust your universe, and they are gradually guiding all of us into a place where we need to be. So to have trust and patience with each other and to help each other grow together, because the Creator gave this information when we're born. It's deep within our subconsciousness. We just need to meditate and activate it. That's why going to school is completely pointless. Your children, you're sending them to school, you're worrying that they won't have a good job. In the end, they're a slave to the system. You ever thought about that? So the song I'm playing right now is called Recollection. And perhaps it is time for human to reset and recollect a new fifth dimensional consciousness. Perhaps we were meant to work together as one to achieve greatness. So get out there and help each other. Don't charge people for money because these are free information. Go out there and become ungovernable. Hey, I'll see you in my final episode. Take care.